campaign they've launched, and obviously the event today. As many of you will know, it's been my grim duty this year to present the City Council with a further £11.2 million worth of cuts. This year's cuts takes the City Council's collective loss of funding to £198 million since 2010. Over 50% of the budget has been taken away from us by this Tory government and the Lib Dem Tory coalition before them. The reduction in available spending has been absolutely enormous. But even in the face of these tremendous pressures, it is the dedicated and passionate staff in local government who continue to deliver outstanding services to the residents and families across the city of Salford, day in, day out. And I'd like to thank each and every one of them for everything they do in our city. Public sector workers throughout local government, our NHS and beyond, are the lifeblood of our communities and our city. But what's happening in Salford is also happening across England, with councils expecting to face a funding gap of £5 billion by 2020, whilst at the same time homelessness has more than doubled under the Conservatives, with 120,000 children now living in temporary accommodation without a home to call their own. 75% of councils nationally are reporting a crisis in children's services, with children's services departments under huge strain because of rising poverty, the impacts of welfare changes, stagnating wages, insecure employment and unaffordable housing. And 1 in 4 children in the UK today face poverty, with 4.1 million children living in relative poverty and children missing out on the things most children take for granted, like warm clothes, school trips and having friends over for tea. This is an absolute disgrace in 21st century Britain, one of the most wealthiest economies in the developed world. But despite the Tory government knowing this, in Salford, where we are the 22nd most deprived local authority in the country, with 26% of our children living in poverty, they still insist on reducing our budget by over 50% since 2010. While central government expenditure continues to rise, tax breaks are found for the big businesses and the wealthiest in society. Austerity is a political choice, and today we want to send a loud and clear message to the government that enough really is enough. Our 5 local authority nurseries, as we've heard, are rated as outstanding by Ofsted. Schools and parents tell us these services within the nurseries provided are excellent and provide high standards of care, significantly contributing to school readiness within our city and often providing much needed support for children with special educational needs and disabilities. It is for many of these reasons why the Labour Council here in Salford has held on to these 5 outstanding local authority nurseries, where many councils, as we've already heard, up and down the country have already ceased direct provision. Tory government changes to the early years funding formula nationally should not put in jeopardy such outstanding services within our city. And it's for all these reasons that I've decided to pause the consultation for a month. I've also removed closure from the consultation and have guaranteed funding to keep these local authority nurseries open for the next academic year. As we continue to fight for the 5, lobby the government, work with parents, staff, trade unions, councillors, our 3 MPs and the Mayor of Greater Manchester. Austerity is a political choice, and local government should not bear the brunt of government austerity. And today we stand together and say enough of the cuts to vital services that hurt our local communities. Enough of the cuts to schools, hospitals and local policing. Enough of the cuts to the libraries and our youth centres within the city. And enough of leaving elderly and disabled people without essential care. Enough of failed privatisation that sucks funds out of local services so few can profit within society. And enough of placing Salford's 5 outstanding nurseries in jeopardy. And I stand shoulder to shoulder with everyone here today to fight for these 5 local authority nurseries and to keep them open. Thank you very much.